He had always said it clearly. "I never want kids." And she had believed him until the day she left, carrying a secret that would change everything. 3 years passed. He climbed the corporate ladder, closed deals, and filled his life with ambition, thinking he had avoided the chaos of parenthood. Then, on a quiet afternoon, fate forced him into a cafe where he froze. There she was, his past, his heartbreak, and beside her, 2 little faces looking up at him with eyes so like his own. In that instant, his carefully ordered world shattered forever. Lucas Hart had always been a man of control. Every aspect of his life, career, schedule, relationships, was meticulously planned, executed, and measured for success. Emotion had no place in his world. Love was a liability, and children, an absolute impossibility. So when Isabella, his fiancée, asked him about starting a family, his answer was swift, cold, and unyielding. "I never want kids." She had nodded silently, disappointment hiding behind the polite smile she had perfected over the years. Then, without confrontation or drama, she left, disappearing from his life and leaving only memories, warm, fleeting, and now bittersweet. Lucas buried himself in work after she left. He threw himself into deals, meetings, and late-night calls, convincing himself that ambition was the antidote to heartbreak. Each evening, he returned to his sleek apartment overlooking the city skyline, alone but content with his precise routines. Love, family, and the chaos they brought had no place in his world. Until one ordinary afternoon, a cafe near his office disrupted everything. He was sipping a black coffee, scrolling through contract revisions, when a laugh stopped him mid-thought. It was soft, musical, but familiar. He glanced up and froze. There she was, Isabella, the same presence that haunted his dreams, now standing with 2 small girls clinging to her hands. His chest tightened, breath caught. Their eyes, bright, lively, startlingly familiar, were mirrored fragments of himself. He blinked, thinking he was seeing a mirage, but the laughter, the tiny hands holding hers, and the sparkle in their eyes proved this was real. "Dad?" one of the girls asked, her voice tentative yet full of innocent certainty. The word struck Lucas like a physical blow. His mind raced, trying to make sense of the impossible truth. He was a father, not just once, but twice. The twins, no more than 3 years old, stared at him, curiosity and trust mingling in their gaze. Isabella's calm eyes met his, carrying both resolve and exhaustion. "These are yours," she said softly. Lucas felt his carefully constructed world crumble, leaving only the raw weight of responsibility, love, and guilt. For a moment, Lucas wanted to run, escape, retreat to the life he had built for himself, life free from chaos and uncertainty. But something in the girls' laughter, the way they clung to their mother, stopped him. He realized this wasn't a negotiation he could win with control or wealth. This was life, messy, unexpected, and profoundly real. He knelt slowly, letting the twins approach him cautiously. They studied him with the unguarded curiosity of children, touching his hands and sleeves as if confirming he was real. Tears pricked his eyes, tears of regret for the years lost, and awe at the sudden, overwhelming love he hadn't known he could feel. Isabella watched silently, the protective stance he remembered still in her posture, but softened by the years of experience and the fragile trust she had just begun to grant him. Over the next hours, Lucas learned more than he ever had in boardrooms or meetings. He discovered the little quirks of the twins, the way one tilted her head when thinking, the other's giggle that reminded him painfully of his own laughter as a child. Isabella shared how she had carried the secret for 3 years, raising the girls alone, fearing his reaction, fearing that revealing the truth might destroy him, or worse, push her away entirely. She told him of the lonely nights, the first steps, the first words, and the overwhelming responsibility of loving someone who had once walked away. Each story pressed harder against Lucas's chest, a mixture of remorse and awe consuming him. He realized the enormity of what he had missed, the milestones he could never reclaim, and the courage it took for Isabella to protect their children alone. Yet, through her words and the gentle presence of the twins, he found a fragile hope that love, patience, and consistency could rebuild what ambition had destroyed. Days turned into weeks. Lucas adjusted his life completely, delegating tasks, postponing meetings, and spending every possible moment with his newfound family. He learned the delicate balance of presence without intrusion, of earning trust rather than demanding it. Isabella remained cautious, letting him in only as far as the twins' happiness allowed. But Lucas didn't falter. He showed up, he listened, he laughed, and he held space for their lives. Then came the night that would change everything. A frantic call from Isabella told him the twins had collapsed at home. Panic replaced all control as he raced through the streets, arriving at the hospital to find Isabella pale and exhausted, clutching the children close. Machines beeped, monitors flashed, and time seemed suspended. Lucas realized that wealth, power, and ambition were useless here. Only presence, empathy, and love mattered. He held Isabella's hand, whispered reassurance, prayed silently, and waited as doctors worked tirelessly. Hours stretched into a night that felt infinite, yet he never left. By dawn, the twins stabilized, the danger passed, and Lucas finally understood that family was not a liability, not a distraction but life itself. He embraced Isabella and the girls, aware that every future decision, every choice, would now revolve around love, care, and the fragile trust he had to nurture. Weeks later, in Isabella's studio, a final moment crystallized everything Lucas had learned. She unveiled a painting of the three of them, imperfect, real, filled with laughter, love, and quiet connection. Lucas saw himself not as a millionaire CEO, but as a father, a partner, and a man finally ready to choose love over control. Kneeling before Isabella, he promised not just apologies, but action, a lifetime of presence, patience, and devotion. Isabella's quiet yes marked the beginning of their journey, not a perfect life, but a real one, built on courage, love, and second chances. Watch now to see how a cold-hearted millionaire CEO discovers the family he never knew he had. Will he step up for the twins and win back the woman he let go? Don't miss this emotional journey of love, redemption, and second chances.